everybody to another edition of Go For Side Effects. Today we have John in town. Yep, we are here. Say hello, John.
Hello, John.
So everybody, if y'all have not seen his homecoming yesterday, I think y'all should go look at it because it is quite hilarious. And so, I mean, well, how was that?
It was pretty I didn't know what to expect. I see this crazy guy, running at me in a sailor suit. I'm like, what the hell is this? And he had a lathe on and everything.
Well, you got to have fun in life, and so that's what tonight is about. It's about fun. We'll talk some serious stuff if y'all want to talk about, but we also want to take questions. So if y'all have questions, just type it in. I can see any questions that y'all have that y'all like to ask for me or John. Uh, I just want y'all to know I really thought John was this great, really big guy. He's a big guy, don't get me wrong, a lot bigger than my ass. But he's very proportionate. I was quite surprised. And he looks so much younger than on camera.
Evidently, I look like an old bastard on camera.
Well,
It's all
I'm
right.
just saying, he met my parents and everything. So speaking of that, how did you like meet my family?
Oh, your family's great. I mean, your wife's phenomenal. Your daughter, your granddaughter, your folks, all great people. It's surprising because when you go to talk to your parents, how they are, because both your parents are very easygoing. It's just well, it's nice to get to.
Whoa, 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 whoa. One of them is really easy going. The other one, he's all right.
Well, I mean, they're both super easygoing, very nice, great, wonderful
Great
house.
parents.
Yeah.
Great parents.
Yeah.
So John flew down, and he was really here for only one day. And we were like, been talking. He's been wanting to come down, visit with me, and to get to know me better and get to know more about, what my lifestyle is and everything. And,
He lives in a $5 million mansion. He
oh,
probably didn't tell
yeah,
you to share that
yeah,
out. I'm
yeah,
just
yeah.
kidding.
My man's
It's
in
only
that.
3 million, right?
Yeah, yeah. I got fake walls.
No, it's a very nice, comfortable house in a nice location. You got a outstanding family, and of course, it's always nice. You never know, when you meet somebody in person. It's obviously, clearly, based on what you shared with me and what your mom shared with me, and whoever else hasn't really come at least and said in front of me what they thought. Because I am a bigger guy, but they always say that the camera puts 10 pounds more on you than what you actually are, and I'm like, well, I'm not exactly a small person to begin with, but here we are. No, I mean, great. It's the first time I've ever been in the state of Texas.
Yeah, hot as hell.
It is bloody
We
hot
got
here.
one question.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I have a CMP coming up next Friday. So you got a CMP exam coming up next Friday for the PACT Act stuff. First claim. Is there guys with skin rashes or problems on the arms, legs, or ears? Yes.
Yes.
And I want y'all to know a few things about going in for a CMP exam.
Yeah.
You never tell them you're doing good. You never tell them you're doing great, even if you're having a great day, because other days you're not going to have good days. You just tell them, I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Which it's not lying. Okay, we're not asking y'all to lie. We're not telling y'all to lie. But what we're trying to tell y'all to do is, go in there with the notions that these people are there to tell you no right off the bat. But with skin problems and everything, if you have them on you, tell them a lot of people are being approved for skin rashes. So I'm glad that I had skin rashes on my back, and I had discoloration on the front of my head. But wearing a patch is taking them away, which I'm glad. But I want anybody, if y'all have any questions, please let us know.
So CMP, compensation and pension. The whole idea behind going to a CMP exam is you're there to explain, hey, I have these issues. I've had these issues since my time in the Gulf. You're there. Keep it. Understand when you go in there, you're going to be under the microscope from the minute you get out of your vehicle until the minute you're standing in front of it. You're not there to make friends. You're not there to, I mean, it's just be honest. You're there because your life is not good. Okay, you're there because
You got a problem.
you've got a problem and you want compensation from Uncle Sam for what they put you through. And you have to go into that to understanding. You don't have to give them your whole life history. You're not, when they ask you questions, think about your answers. Be prepared the best you can be for how you're going to respond to the questions. Well, when did this start? Well, it's happened since I was in the Gulf. You don't say, well, I just started noticing it last month. No, 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 no.
Here's a good question right here. Ernie, I'm going to get your question, but Teresa, yes, we're finally in the same room. He's from Iowa, I'm from Texas, he came to Texas. All right. And Jack, you're right. You definitely, tell them your problems, the bad days, the issues. Jack's correct. Now, Ernie, he's been in the Navy. Go Navy, Army sucks. Oh, wait, I can't say that. He's like right next to me. He'll whoop my ass now. So, he served from 1986 to 1990. Twice in the Persian Gulf, like myself. Okay, so he worked above decks. He has a rare blood cancer that even the doctors claim they do not know what causes this condition. I am going to lose health insurance at the end of this year. How should I attempt to be able to go to the VA for treatments? That's easy. Call 1-800-827-1000. Get connected with them. Tell them that you want to come in and see a primary care physician. And let them know you have a blood cancer. But also get with the VSO officer. That's one of the first things I would also do, besides calling the 1-800 number. Get a hold of a veteran service officer in your state. I don't know what state you're from. Get a hold of them. And then what you can do is tell them everything you're going through, and they're going to help you, guide you through the way. Make sure you get a claim in for that blood condition, because that is covered under the PACT Act. So definitely get in there and have the VSO even file attempt to file.
Yeah.
Okay, so you might get attempt to file. You don't have to file right away, but let them know what your problems are and get connected with the VA. If you have a problem, let us know. We'll help you, guide you to get into the VA system so you can get health care, because you're about to lose your health insurance, brother. We'll help you. We'll guide you.
Do not sit there, give the information to the VSO officer, and follow through a day or two after I don't know, again, we don't know where you're at. Do not give it a lot of time. A couple of days is plenty of time, information-wise, to give to the VSO officer and follow up. If you just give them information and sit back and wait on them, don't do that. Okay, be aggressive. Okay, because you're on a timeline here.
Well, I mean, he's got cancer too.
Again,
get your ass in there.
Don't if the one VSO officer is not effectively doing what they need to do in a short amount of time, and I say short amount of time, I'm talking a week.
A week.
Let them know this is what's going on. And if that individual, give them 1 or 2 shots. Don't give them a lot of time in between. If you're not getting any traction off of that individual, go to another VSO officer. And that's just what you got to do, and we've talked about this many times on the show, one veteran service officer is not the same as the next.
And listen to this. He said that I called the VA center and she mailed him out paperwork.
Okay.
But she told me it's within her income. That's not, that is true, but it's not true. Because you can file this under the PACT Act. If you have a cancer and that, file it under the PACT Act. The VA will see you for it. And you need to get with them because you need to take care of your family. If something is, I don't know if you're married or if you're not married, if you got kids, but if you got kids, everybody needs to know that is that you need to do it for them more than you need to do it for yourself. I hate to say that. That sounds really weird, but you know.
And along with talking to your VSO, and Kevin and I have talked about this a little bit. If you're unable to work because of your circumstances, apply for Social Security disability. Don't drag your feet on. You don't have to compile a big list of information. Go to that government office, set up an appointment, call them, say, hey, I'm going to be here. Don't worry about, like I did, now this has been several years ago, they're going to have all the information there. Just because, even if you're not currently connected, you can still draw a Social Security disability because you're not able to work, okay? And you can say, well, it's because of my time in the service. And then you give them that information, and the person sitting behind the desk and say, okay, they go based off your last 5 years of income. This is how much you're going to get. Because you're a veteran, you go to the top of the line, and you start getting paid that Social Security disability. You got to do that. There's no reason not to do it, especially if you're not able to work, okay? So be sure to follow through on that. Do not let that go by the wayside. That's important. So.
Okay, he's currently disapproved through disability through the RRB. Okay, that's good. But it's time for you to get with the PACT Act. Get to filing. As a matter of fact, what's today? What's today? 13th?
13th, all day.
Okay, listen to this. Ernie, call the VSO officer tomorrow. Put an intent to file in. Because they will go all the way back a year from the 14th and retro you back your money. So anybody that needs to file under the PACT Act for anything, do it by tomorrow.
Tomorrow? You mean Monday? Tomorrow's Sunday.
No, I mean, no, today's Sunday.
No, today. Oh, my bad. Sorry, my apologies.
Don't listen to him.
Whoops.
We've had a lot of fun. It's the heat, guy. It's 105 degrees in Texas right now, and it's going to John's head.
Yeah, no.
But tomorrow, get your butt down there and do it. Don't procrastinate, y'all.
No.
Don't procrastinate. And if they disapprove you, you file for a higher appeal. If they disapprove you again, you file to go see a judge. And that's where we'll help you, help with an attorney, help you find one in your area that will fight to get you what you need. Yeah. Now, I want y'all to ask questions. I want y'all to get in here, ask us anything y'all want to. But I kind of drove John around in Texas a little bit. And I got to show him where I grew up. And I got to show him at the barbershop, which he really liked the barbershop. Took a lot of pictures.
It's a nice barbershop.
Yeah.
I think it is. It's
nice.
It's comfortable. It's a
hometown feeling.
It's a very comfy feeling in there. You got a lot of. It's kind. I mean, I can imagine it being super busy in there. It's comfortable. It's.
I'm gonna wear that sailor outfit when I drop you off tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
So when John leaves tomorrow, and so yesterday when I went and picked John up, I wore this really cool Amazon sailor outfit that really looked real. And I'm telling you, y'all need to go watch that video yesterday. I think what I thought was weird was everybody was laughing because they were like, look at this old son of a bitch wearing this sailor outfit. Damn, he's been in a pirate ship.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, here's one for us. Should a veteran already 100% file for the PACT Act? No. Leave it alone. There's no point.
There's nothing gained.
Yeah, and you're already covered under the PACT Act because you're at 100%.
If you're at 100%, leave it alone. Now, some people, there has been a few arguments, whereas, 100% is 100%. You're getting, you see where that puts you at pay. All your problems, any medical issues you have are going to be addressed, and your family. If you have family, if you're married, your spouse is going to get CHAMP VA.
Now that's a good one. I'm glad you just said that. look at the benefits 100% gets you with your spouse, because it gives you Champ VA. It gives you a lot of things, but not only that, life insurance. There's so much that it gives you that take the benefits of it. And for me, uh, whenever I reached whenever I reached the percentage that I'm at right now, it took me 25 years. I mean, they're still denying people. So don't think because you're going to file, it's going to become automatically 100%.
No.
Just to let y'all know, because it, you're still going to have to keep fighting, but don't give up the fight. Keep fighting.
Yeah, I don't understand
What that is.
why people think that 100%. Why would you continue on? And I know there's certain line of thinking would because I can get more money from the back. So here's a double-edged sword. If you're at 100%, and if you fight more, you're going against the U.S. government. Okay, you fought for what you had. You're at 100%, whether it's TDIU, partial and total. There's I don't know how many different variables there are to the particular scenario, but you get 100% is 100%. Now we understand that 2 and 2 isn't 4 in our government. We all know that. But if you're getting paid at 100%, leave it lay. That's my opinion.
Right. Leave it alone. Now, if I ended up getting a cancer, yes, I'm going to file for it. For one reason. If I die from that cancer, I want to make sure I'm rated for it so that way my wife gets all my benefits. I will say that. Because I'm hearing back and forth that if you pass away, hey guys, if y'all have questions, y'all keep bringing them in. But I'm going to tell y'all this. From what I understand, you have to pass away from one of your disabilities that you were connected with. But if you're at 100% and you're doing okay, you don't have the cancers, don't file, because they can come back and take that 100% away from you.
Yeah.
And I mean, and I don't know.
Well, I mean,
it's hard.
If you're at 100%, there's a lot of things that we all learn as we're going along. So if you get 100% and you have a family, let's say you're married, you got kids, let's say, and the kids are at home. Okay, if you're 100%, we all know it's about the money, it's about the benefits for your spouse. You get 100%, you file for Champ VA. Champ VA takes a little while to get engaged, but then if your wife, your spouse, significant other needs to go and get medical treatment, they can get that. And there's only going to be the maximum out-of-pocket expense, at least it was last year, I don't know if it's still concurrent, it was $3,000. So a catastrophic event, heaven forbid something happens, your spouse, you only have to pay out of your pocket $3,000 for that year. That's the maximum you can pay. And Champ VA sends you a ton of paperwork saying, okay, well, we paid this, we paid this, we paid this. One thing, that information that you and Champ VA is for the spouse, so that information given to your spouse is also sent to the provider. And I didn't necessarily know that at the beginning. That provider gets the same information, so you do not have to contact that provider. They're already told by the government. Okay, if it was approved, they're getting this amount of money, and the amount of money
Right.
that is ridiculous as what the agreed upon payment is.
Yeah.
You
That's
talk
true.
about a racket for insurance out there that's in our world. It's my goodness.
I want to kind of let the humor in this, so I want to tell everybody a joke. I told John this joke yesterday. I think it's time for a really good joke. What do you think?
Go for it.
Okay. Now, y'all want to hear a joke? It's a really good joke. All right. So, this old man, he's out hunting in Africa. He's hunting for a tiger. So he gets out there and he's like, looking around all this, and he flies back home and he's telling all his buddies sitting around the campfire. He's so excited. He's like, guys, y'all are not going to freaking believe this. I went hunting for a tiger. And they're like, really? Tell us about it. He's like, and this was his voice. He's like, Yeah, I was out there and I was looking for this tiger, and we're walking down through the desert, and we're walking around, and I spotted them, and I started locating them. I'm going down about a mile. All of a sudden, I got lost. I got lost, and I lost him right around this tree. About that time, he looks up, and I hear this crackle, and I see there's that damn tiger, and that tiger went, "Hurr!" And I shit my pants. And they're like, "Holy cow, you shit your pants when the tiger growled at you?" He goes, "No, just now when I went, Urgh, I shit my pants." All right, I'm going to throw some humor in there. All right. Oh, here you go. Another one. If I'm assigned 100% at received compensation and I'm allowed to work and earn a paycheck. Okay, yes. If you're 100%, you are allowed to work.
As long as you're not TDIU.
Yeah, that's it. That's the key. Right there. And also, will I be able to collect my reserve pension whenever I turn 60? Yes.
Okay, I didn't know the answer. So
you should be able to collect your pension because that's a pension that you win and you serve. Now, I did hear this, and this came from a reliable source, that if you are in the service and you have a pension and you go to file and they grant you, but they only, if it's over 50%, you keep your pension. If it's under 50%, they can take it away. I haven't heard that, but that's what they were told. And so that's a good thing to check up on. John's our research guy.
Yeah, I'll have to take a hard look into that one.
Oh, yep, right here. Go to see Angry Cops Lane. Former Army drill instructor on the government reduced disabilities because the government needs to waste more money on those who serve that shouldn't be afforded than things regs that he provides. You know what? The government can kiss my ass. That's how I feel about it. Well, I mean, who has that right to take anybody's pensions away or take anybody's disabilities away? You screwed us.
Well, it's all a numbers game. Unfortunately,
It is.
It all boils down to money. And if you got to keep your wits about you now. If you're TDI, total disability, individual unemployability, if you're working, if you're able to work at all, I'd highly suggest that you're doing that under the table, because if Uncle Sam finds out that you got any income, any taxable income, all you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot, because next thing you know, you got to send in a W-2 and they say, oh, you were able to work and collect X amount of dollars. Well, then you can work, then we're going to take your disability away. Okay?
Well, that's Social Security, man. I mean, a lot of these guys who file for Social Security disability, it's not even worth it to try to go out and work. Maybe, I mean, if it's a cash job, okay. But, I mean, to me, I recommend don't even try anything, because one day they're going to end up finding out.
Yeah, it's just it is a double-edged sword. I mean, we all have. What's up?
Shane, I don't want to tell him that. He goes, don't let the Navy guy make it work while you're visiting him. Hey, I want John to show me how to work as far as like Army, like stern shit and get rid of the waste. Then you said you had to do that.
That was the very last thing. I was the last guy because I mean, yeah, I did it. It was a burn pit. It was not pleasant. I mean, that was one form of our burn pits. They had to get rid of the human waste, and you mix diesel and gas together.
I haven't had to make you work hard.
No, what, here?
But I'll try to get them to mop my floors. I got to teach them how to sweep and mop. That's supposed to make them good at it. And paint.
Yeah, you go ahead and go with that. See how that works out for you.
Shane, that was pretty funny. and hey, y'all know the bet.
He's gonna be wearing lipstick.
The Army and the Navy football game.
No worries.
When the Navy kicks y'all's ass,
Ain't gonna happen.
John's gonna be wearing pretty red lipstick.
I'll say I do it, but here's the thing: I don't have to worry about it. You know,
My ass.
stranger things have happened. I mean, yeah, I don't know if y'all listen.
No.
You know, talking about sports now. Our women's USA Women's FIFA, that didn't work out so good with this year for the women. You know, I really enjoy watching that. You know, so things happen. You know, so I'll never say never. Unlikely. You know, because I'm not gonna wear. You're gonna wear lipstick, and you're gonna wear. I think you gotta wear a wig too.
I ain't gonna wear lipstick.
Yeah, you're gonna wear lipstick. You're gonna wear lipstick, you know, because you know the Army's gonna come out on top. You know.
Oh, here's a good one, Eric Bailey.
Eric Bailey.
I'm 100% TP.
Okay.
I'm an elected sheriff and work full time, but by state regies only have to be in office 8 hours a month. Am I playing with fire?
Yes. Yep. As far as I'm concerned, you are. Because here's the deal. It takes one small hiccup and one report.
Oh, 8 hours a month.
Money's money.
But it depends on how much you make, correct?
It does. Now I know there's a set guideline of how much you're allowed. I just don't want to play with fire. My biggest fear is that
Talk to an accountant.
You test the waters and you're going to get fried. And once you're fried, it's a lot harder to undo something that you don't have. If you have control over it, take control of it now. Ask a lot of questions and double check. Don't just take it for one person's suggestion. You can talk to your accountant, fine. But
now, if it's only $1,000 a month, I think you're fine. I think you're fine. But talk to an accountant and find out, because, I mean, some of the elected offices really is only like $500 to $800 a month or something like that. I think you're allowed, if you're TP, I know there's a certain set amount.
There is an amount, but you got to take into consideration, are you on just VA disability? Or are you on Social Security disability as well?
If you're on both.
You know, what are the variables? And how much between the two? If one government agency can't find fault, can the second one find fault? How much of a willing are you to stretch it out there? How much is that monetary income worth to you? If it's no more than an ego draw, let it go. If it's not
just VA, he says just VA.
Okay.
So yes, you can.
You probably, if it's just VA, you're probably
safe. But just check with count.
Find
just
out.
Check it out.
And I know. Well, I don't know what the amount is. It's $1,100 a month or something. It's not a lot.
Well, somebody's 100%. They're normally anybody that's 100% through the VA. They're usually a 100% TP.
My point is, how much can they earn per month before they're going to get in trouble and say, "Oh, you earned that amount of money, then you can work. Then we're going to yank or lower your percentage." That's
but
if
somebody's 100%, just through the VA, they still allow you to work. It's when you mess with Social Security disability. So I do think you're fine. I do think you're fine. Check with the accountant, but I think you're fine.
Yeah, definitely.
I think you're fine.
Double check with your accountant, and if you don't get a straight answer with your accountant, keep digging, because I've asked my accountant questions before, and they say, well, it's a gray area. I don't want a gray area. I want a solid yes or a solid no. You know,
yeah, if
they say you're taking a chance, I'm done. You know, I'm not willing to risk. There's too much on the line. You know, I'm not willing to risk it. So it's a matter of your risk potential. You know, how high is your threshold? You know, so
Chad is asking, what is TP?
Total and permanent.
Correct.
Total and permanent disability. Now, yeah. So total TP, total and permanent.
It's not toilet paper. Just come on, I had to throw that in there.
So
I had to say something smart ass one time. I mean, right there, I did it.
Fair enough.
And I didn't bring up my ass.
Oh God.
I didn't say one thing about my little ass the whole time you were here. I did not say it one time.
But he couldn't let it go. He had to say something. So, but no, you know, here it's bloody hot here in Texas. It's like a freaking 100 degrees outside.
It's hell. It's hell.
So I
the devil landed and it's freaking hell.
So my wife texted me today. She goes, "It's 72 degrees and we're expecting rain." It's like,
hey, but the one thing about it, we haven't had rain in well over a month, and it's been over 100 degrees. I think well over a month, and the next 10 days it's supposed to be 100 degrees and no rain.
That's crazy.
But the wildfires are really going to start brewing up here.
Tell you what,
man, like Hawaii, holy shit.
Yeah, Hawaii's seen a bad one. So, you know, any other questions? Feel free to ask, folks. I mean, we don't have all the answers, but we can certainly point you in the right direction. Your VSO officer is your quickest, most effective way.
Oh, Jeff said, Eric, you are good. He works as law enforcement. He's 100% P&T, and he works full time. And which, I mean, I know that's the correct answer. I'm pretty for sure that's the correct answer. I didn't know if he was talking about Social Security.
Maybe those two can talk to one another. If you're both law enforcement, talk to one another. And
hey, I just want to know, since you're sheriff elected and everything, like, did you get elected because you believe 100% in the Constitution? I want to hear a yes or no answer on that, because I believe local governments should, like sheriff's officers, they're elected by the people. They're for the people. And a lot of sheriff's offices, like we got going on here, we got a Texas Ranger running. And these guys are fully for the Constitution. Like I'm talking about, if nobody's going to mess with their citizens. I like that about sheriff's officers. So I'm glad y'all in law enforcement. Thank y'all for what y'all do. And after being in the military and y'all going to law enforcement, shit, man, I give y'all a lot of freaking credit on that. A lot of credit on that.
Yeah, I mean that.
Eric says yes, 100%. Hell yeah. I tell you what, you know, if we get some lunatic that don't believe in the Constitution, I'm moving where Eric lives.
Yeah.
Now, I want y'all to keep asking questions. If y'all, I mean, even if it's not related to VA, if y'all have questions about, you know, what's John's favorite color, I think it's pink. I'm not sure.
Well, actually, it's purple.
Purple?
It is. I love the color. We painted my wife hated it. I asked her, we painted the whole bedroom purple, and it just drove her nuts.
Fuck?
I just love the color purple.
Purple.
Yeah.
Do you walk around going, purple rain?
No,
purple
it's not, I like the song. I like the freaking color purple. Just like I like the color grass green. I like the color bright yellow. Not this mustard bullshit yellow. A really good...
What the hell am I listening to? You could at least lied and said army green.
No bullshit. No, that olive drab green. Hell no. I mean, it has its place in life, but no, I like freaking.
And Eric's
purple.
over here going, "Oh, it's 70 degrees right now."
There
Rub it in. Rub it in. I mean, hey, I'm glad y'all got 70 degrees, and he put only 70 degrees.
I mean, 70 degrees. Perfect temperature.
I mean, I wish I could see it.
With low humidity.
I have to wait till freaking February to have 70 degree weather, it feels like here. But purple, let's get back to that.
No, what's wrong with purple? Go ahead, give me an argument. Exactly.
Rain.
That's your argument?
Purple.
By Prince, Purple Rain. I mean, it was
hey,
not my favorite song in the world, but it's not a bad song.
Everybody on here wants you to sing.
Yeah, you don't want to hear me sing. Hell, I don't want to hear myself.
They really didn't put that. I was just making that shit up.
I don't want to hear myself sing. Hell, I don't even sing in the damn shower. Nope.
You know, we've had a really good time, man.
No, it's been, here again, first time I've ever been in the state of Texas. It's a lot greener which is kind of funny because they're in such a such a heat wave. But it's a lot denser. There's a lot more forestry than what I thought there was. A lot more woods. When I was in Georgia, I was telling Kevin and his wife as we were driving from the airport in Georgia, it's like pine trees, like right up against the highway for miles and miles on end. That wasn't appealing to me because I'm from the Midwest. Looking out the cornfields and the soybean fields, very open area. Here it's a mixture of woods. It's a lot of wooded area, but it's not like that.
No, it's like pines and oaks, and like Jack had just said, humidity sucks there because I cut Jack's hair, and Jack was in the Navy too, man.
Oh.
And a real good buddy of mine, and you know what? Next time you come down, you're gonna have to meet Jack. He's a really good guy.
Okay.
He's a good.
Well, everybody that I've met here, all really great people. I mean, the Houston area is interesting.
Except for the drivers.
Y'all
the drivers suck.
Yeah, it is. I got to be careful. I mean,
they suck.
There are some people. Well, you got a lead foot, dude. This guy knows how to. He introduces his gas pedal to his floorboard on a regular basis.
You got to in this town.
My God.
Hey.
I mean, like, hold on. And then we got some food today, and he decided to christen himself with his beverage. Picking up that shit went everywhere.
Man, I took him to Whataburger. I had to introduce him to Whataburger ketchup and French fries. Okay, we didn't want to eat because we ate steak this evening.
Right, which was phenomenal.
Eric just said humidity 28%. He's killing me right now.
Gotta love that.
What kind of crock of shit is that? But I'm telling y'all, I pick up my soda and it went all over me in my truck. It was nice. It was cold, but it wasn't that nice.
He had ice and soda everywhere. It's like when you go to pick up a freaking nut, what's the damn cap not on?
No, the cap wasn't on, and it just went everywhere.
Because I know I'm always kind of paranoid. I'm sure it's happened to me. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be paranoid. But you go to pick it, you get a soda
and
out the window, and you go grab. These are big ass cups, and you go to grab the top of it, and you squish it together, which is the weakest point of the cup. And it happened. It's everywhere. Like I said, I'm glad it wasn't me. I was like, he actually was pretty calm about it.
Yeah, I jumped out of the truck and got the ice off of me, man. I freaking freezing.
So we just had fries and a soda, which were great. And it's because we didn't actually have the hamburger because we ate later.
Yeah, how was those steaks?
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, no, they're really good steaks. It's kind of interesting.
Some of the Texas steaks, my Texas steaks. They're good.
We're good. I mean, Iowa State. Everybody. Didn't we get a little? What are you shaking your head no about?
I forgot you could see me. What do you mean steaks are better in Iowa? By the way, what kind of crap is that?
Did I say that?
No.
Somebody said that.
Jeff just did. Jeff, listen. Come down and eat my steaks.
No, it was a matter. I think it's a matter of the preparation. Because the steaks here, everybody would say everything's better, or at least everything's bigger in Texas. I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, you did a great job of cooking the steaks, man. They're outstanding. They really were. They were good. Now, I'm not going to sit here and argue whether my steaks are better than your steaks. I think it's the preparation. I think we had an argument one time about barbecuing.
I'll kick your ass in barbecuing.
My wife. I would have to admit, I was telling your wife, when it comes to
Jack, sounds like we need to throw down.
No,
I'm just telling y'all right now, my oldest son. I'm going to give North Carolina some credit. They do pulled pork really good, and I'm sorry if you're from North Carolina and I said pulled pork because I know y'all hate that shit. It's pulled pork. It is not sliced pork or taking it apart pork or whatever you call it. It's pulled pork.
As opposed to
shredded. It's shredded pork. It drives me crazy. It's pulled pork. It's called pulled pork.
As opposed to shredded pork?
That's not shredded pork. It's pulled pork in the state of Texas.
Tomato.
But hold on, wait. Let's get this stuff straight right now, everybody. Let's get this straight. North Carolina has the best pulled pork I've ever had. But other barbecue than that, y'all ain't beating Texas. Y'all can kiss my ass. Well, we're gonna have to have a contest between states on who makes the better barbecue.
See, now, to be honest with you, barbecue and me, I mean, you talk about barbecue as a whole. Now, barbecue, I think, is being very messy. Like baby back ribs.
Oh, Eric just said pulled pork. Eric, you're back on my good side right there, brother. Back on my good side right there, man. Okay, Chad. He has a question. Can you explain how presumptives work with the PACT Act issues? Yes. Beforehand, we already had presumptives, okay? The PACT Act that came along for Desert Storm vets and Gulf War veterans for pre-9/11, not post-9/11, that was more for certain cancers, okay? We already had presumptives, okay? But now that the PACT Act has came into effect, it's making them more aware of what we suffered from. So claims are going through, I'm not saying faster, but better. More efficiently. Okay, they're understanding it more. Doctors, no. But the people that when it comes to presumptives with the PACT Act, we already have presumptives beforehand. The PACT Act, to me, just enhanced it. And it covers the cancers. Camp Lejeune, love you guys. I'm glad y'all got it post 9/11. Glad you guys got it because the people in Afghanistan that fought in Afghanistan, they probably still don't know what the hell they're going to end up having after a while because, you know, they're still younger. Not young, younger.
So, yeah, the whole idea, keep understand this. Presumptive is just that. It's presumed because you were in the theater of operations during the conflict, the war, whatever you want to term it at. It's presumed that you had this issue. Now, just because it's presumed, you have to have a DD-214 that states that that's where you're at. Some people don't seem to grasp that. You has to be on your DD-214. I had a fellow veteran that couldn't find their DD-214.
So they requested it?
And I don't know if they actually followed through on that. I talked to one of their kids, and they didn't really seem to want to go through the effort.
It's not hard.
No, it's not. But the fact that you were wherever it is should be on your DD-214. Then it's assumed. But keep in mind, just because it's assumed doesn't mean that you're automatically going to be given a disability. You still got to go through the doctors.
Yes. No. I'm glad you brought that up. Man, I'm so glad because I thought about this also. With the DD-214, understand when you file, I believe Desert Storm vets, Gulf War veterans, Iraqi veterans, they have all of our medical records pre-hand at the VA already. I'm learning they're starting to lose Afghanistan vets records.
Yeah.
And that's some really jacked up shit. Burns my ass.
You always got to keep track of your records. Don't ever anybody who's listening to this probably is already aware of this, but don't ever give Uncle Sam your only record. Yes. For heaven's sakes, no. Make copies of it. Well, we got to have the original. Whatever. Send them the original, but for heaven's sakes, make a copy. Okay? Presumed is just that. If you're going to go in there and say, well, you know, I'm coughing a lot, whatever it is, your circumstances you're having problems with, and you go in and whoever it is, you get a CMP exam, and like we were talking at the beginning of the podcast, you go in there, how you doing today, sir? Oh, not too bad. You're just shooting yourself in the foot. Okay? Have some common sense. You know, I'm not telling anybody to lie about their circumstances. Understand you're at an exam because you have issues, and you're there to describe your issues. They will ask a mirage of questions, all kind of coming back to the same thing, asking it in a different way, kind of like an attorney who might ask you in the court of law, and you're on the opposite side of the fence. They're gonna try and find your weakness, and you just got to stay the course. Listen, I've had these issues from this time to this time, and they might ask you how bad the issues. Yeah,
now listen to this. This is from Eric. I want to tell you what. He's got a good wife.
Okay.
Okay. I was never going to apply, but my wife pushed me into it. It took him many years to reach 100, but it was well worth it. Always, always apply. Eric, you need to walk up to your wife and remarry her again. I mean, I'm telling you, that is one heck of a woman. Because what's funny is a lot of wives don't know about it.
They don't.
That amazes.
It's whether it's the husband or the wife, or in some occasions both of you. They're in the war, whatever war it was that you're exposed to these. A lot of times the spouse won't understand what's going on, and it's the unknown, and that's sometimes it takes our podcast to get you, or there are other podcasts. We try and talk as frank as we can about the circumstances involved. We're all different people, and we've had some really crazy things that we've learned that people are dealing with. I mean, just
oh man, last week's episode. If y'all ain't seen that, you need to go back and watch it. Speaking of that, I got to agree with what Jeff says. Jeff, good. Never assume they have your paperwork.
Oh yeah, no.
You know what, guys? Always have. If y'all want to get your paperwork from your past medical records and stuff like that, you got to get a hold of the VA. I worked with a VSO officer, and they got them for me to get all my medical records from, before I was in the military. And I recommend everybody doing that. But the VA, even if they say, oh, hey, I don't have, your paperwork, they got it.
So, and also keep in mind when you apply for disability, and Uncle Sam, let's say they trickle 10% or 20% or whatever, and then you're in the system and you're getting some money, a little bit of money. If you sit back and accept that for all it is, then they're certainly not going to come to you and say,
right.
You have to keep on pushing forward. Now, my circumstances, as is Kevin's, as is everybody's circumstance is different. And what is your threshold for tolerance of how long you're going to let things keep on going without answers? The squeaky wheel gets the grease. You've all heard me say that a number of times, because in my experience, just like I was explaining to my daughter here the other day, you can accept things for where they are and not move forward, or you can keep on driving to find an ends to means. Okay, well, I can't.
Should have been a teacher. Son of a bitch! I just realized that.
Yeah,
You should have been a teacher.
I volunteer at my local high school,
Son of a bitch.
and I love it. You gotta keep going forward. I mean, you're your weakest.
Yeah.
You're your own worst enemy. If you want to sit back and send an email, send a text, and sit there and do this and waiting on a response, they don't give two shits. Okay. Be aggressive. Be tactfully aggressive. I mean, for heaven's sakes, it's not
moving away from him. He's getting aggressive.
It's not complicated. Meaning, when I say it's frustrating as bloody hell. It is that. But you have to be aggressive. If you're not getting answers, you have to say, okay, enough bullshit. Then I'm going to go to a politician. If that politician is your representative, okay, that politician's. I'm just saying, climb that ladder, because when you were in the military, who did you go to? You went to your your sergeant, you went to your NCO, you went to your high-ranking NCO, then you went to an officer, and then yeah, you can get into trouble if you climb up above people without bringing them into the loop, okay? But you're in the civilian world, and you're trying to get benefits for the things that you suffered from, okay? So you're in the civilian world, then you got to use the political system. You're no longer reporting to an officer. You're no longer reporting to a non-commissioned officer. Okay? You're reporting to that representative that you put into office, that you voted for, that you expect them to do their job. Some of them want to do their job. Some of them just want to collect a paycheck and a pension for their family and on their way, and are going to tell you whatever they want you to hear so they can get reelected.
Sure, man. I mean, I agree.
Just
now
we got
this. He wants to know where in Texas that I'm from. John is in Iowa. He came to visit me. Why he picked August was his damn fault. Wasn't mine. He was like, hey, I'm going to come in August. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I mean,
I live in Conroe. I live in Conroe area. And so Ernie was asking that, and he put, it's too hot in Texas. So he moved to Indiana.
Okay.
Like his son of a bitch.
Indiana.
You guys I tell you what, right now, I'm about to move to Montana. That's how I feel.
Montana? Why Montana?
It's cold.
Yeah, and then you'll freeze your ass off and be bitching
No,
back.
I'll come back to Texas. I'll move again. I'll tell you now, I'm about sick of this shit.
I mean, I remember when I
Iowa rocks. I just got Jeff just sent Iowa rocks.
Iowa does rock.
Except for the barbecue. Jeff's just talking shit. That's what Jeff's doing. Jeff's over here going, I'm just gonna stir it up a little bit to get Kevin going about Iowa. And so I do like Iowa. I have been to Iowa a few times, and I would tell you, Iowa people are probably, the Midwest their people are so nice.
Well, I actually think...
No. You ain't been to Texas long enough. You only been
Well, I mean, I was told one time, you live where you live, or you work where it's your choice to live where you live. Now, and sometimes people might take offense to that, because they're bitching about the weather, or they're bitching about their job. They're working at a job that pays them good, but they choose to work there, and you drive an hour to get there. Well, it's your choice to work here. Nobody's forcing your hand.
I can't bitch about my job. I work for my family. I don't want to get in trouble.
Oh, you can bitch quit.
No.
Oh, come on.
I tell you, I love my job. I got the best job in the world. I got the best customers. I got the best family.
No, you got a great family. I got a great family. I feel very fortunate. I mean,
yeah.
We can all choose to bitch. I mean, because that's our nature as human beings. That's why news it's negative, and you get so tight. The negative is it's drama. Nah.
Good friends, brother. Good friends.
I just enjoy life. It's short. Be aggressive if you're out there and you're trying to get rated for problems that you can't explain and your doctors can't explain it, and it's a presumptive because you were in service and you got a DD4. Do what you got to do. Don't sit back and wait.
No.
Give it a freaking week. If you don't get something from your VSO in a week,
right,
keep going. Don't just accept that, because that's on you then if you accept it. Because you're willing to they're kind of busy. Yeah, so your time isn't important? Okay?
I want to say this, because we've been on now for almost about an hour, and we'll be getting off in just a little bit. But I want everybody that's going to listen to this, because we're going to leave it up on Facebook, because this is a good time. I enjoyed the shit out of this. I want all y'all to know, be courteous to one another. Go out. Man, when you don't know what somebody's going through every day in their life, especially vet. And that's what me and John were talking about earlier. You don't know what the other person's going through. You can't pretend to live in their world. Like, I never knew what depression was until 5-6 months ago. I never knew what depression was. I do now. I not by choice, is by what the VA did to me, but love one another, help one another, be there for one another. I'm going to ask each and every one of y'all that, spread this word around. This is what our podcast is about. Helping vets. Connecting with vets. Tell them to go to YouTube. Subscribe, like to it, share it with your friends. We're going to really be pushing the rest of this year on helping fellow vets as much as we can. And I think we're doing a good job, and we're going to keep doing a good job. We're not going to stop until every vet's voice is heard. And if you're an Iraqi freedom vet or Afghanistan vet, just just know that we're here to support y'all too. Come and talk to us. We'll help you out filing on y'all stuff. We know what you guys been through. We all go through everything differently. I'm just asking for everybody to love one another. Be, just be kind and kind.
Well, it's gonna. I mean,
be as sweet as me, the sweetest son of a bitch around.
The men and women that just got out of the Afghanistan war. Some of the men and women might have the effects of their of the time when they were in the theater. Some of them might not realize it yet. The whole idea is trying to, when something doesn't seem right with your fellow vet, talk to them about it. They might not understand it themselves. Have them listen to a podcast. It could be just something as a couple of things that Kevin and myself say. There's a lot of commonalities that you don't necessarily understand or feel, or you're not out there alone. It's just a matter of having the communication with other fellow vets, which is hugely important. There's not a day that doesn't go by when Kevin and I are talking. We talk to other people that maybe we know, maybe we don't know, and say what's going on, and then we hear about something new, and it's.
And like Hope said, they denied her 4 times. But you keep fighting, Hope. Don't give up. Don't stop.
No, you can't stop.
That's the one thing about it. You cannot give up. You can't give up. And to me, if you've done it 4 times, get a hold of an attorney. And let that damn attorney take the wheels. And I mean.
And I've talked to Hope about that, and Hope, if you don't get a response from the people that I suggested you talk to, I really wouldn't let it lay for very long. I'd go to another one until, if they can't get you in, then talk to somebody else about another suggested attorney, because the longer you drag your feet, the longer your things are. Right. You're waiting on the monies and the benefits.
And so. John told me last night, right before he was about to go to bed, and before I had to tuck him in at night, I didn't quite understand that shit. But John told me he was writing a song that he's going to sing next week. And so I'm really excited about this.
He's delirious. He's freaking delirious. That ain't going to happen. No,
Come on. I have to mess with you.
Even if I wrote a song, you never in a million years, which A, I wouldn't do that, and B, you would never definitely heard it. I couldn't even sing to my kids when they were babies. Now my wife, she could come up with some stuff off the hip and just start singing. My kids would be the first to say, she would just make up shit. Where did you come up with that at?
Hey, you know what? I'm good at that stuff too. I make up stuff all the time. All the time.
You got more energy than any 10 people I know.
Hey, But guys, I want y'all to have a great night. Remember, Gulf War Side Effects is here for you. Go to the outreach program page. Click and like it. Johnny's get his ass on that. And
guilty.
And get that page going. But we got a lot of great episodes coming y'all's way. And I mean, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have exciting information. But most of all, we're going to connect with each and every one of y'all out there. I want y'all to have a great night. If y'all need us, you know how to contact us. Send us a message. We will get back with y'all. If y'all need anything, that's what we're here for. Y'all have a great night.
Thank
you, guys.
Thanks.